have opening statements from each candidate. They will have 1 minute for that opening statement. Then I will have 5 questions that I will ask them this morning. They will have 2 minutes, not a lot for these questions, but they have 2 minutes to answer the questions. We'll volley it back and forth. I'll be as fair as I can possibly be this morning. And then they each will have 1 minute for a final statement. Does that work? Okay. So let's see here. I've got this here. All right. So Joanne Schaffner, we'll start out with her opening statement.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Chamber, for having me. I'm Joanne Schaffner. I'm running for state representative. I am not a politician. I'm a citizen and a patriot, just like you. I'm also a conservative and have been my entire life. And what that means is I care deeply about our country and our Constitution, our state, our families, our border, and education, not indoctrination. I am endorsed by Governor Abbott, Senator Ted Cruz, as well as Agricultural Commissioner Sid Miller.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you, Joanne, for not standing up, because that's going to take me 30 seconds just to get up and moan to do that. So it's great to be here with you this morning. I'm Travis Clardy. I'm your state representative. It's been a singular honor to represent you in Austin and fight the good fight since 2013. I think we've made a lot of progress on a lot of things. I'm very proud of my service. I want to acknowledge a couple of people. First and foremost, the First Lady of House District 11, Judy Clardy. She loves it when I do that. And then Jerry Jones is back here somewhere, the best district director in the state of Texas. Many of you have worked with her and know how well she serves you and the constituents that I'm proud to represent. A little about me, and I know most of you look around a lot of friendly faces. I've been practicing law for hard to believe 35 years now. That's what I do as a profession. 2 of our sons, John and Gus, are now in practice with me, which is an enjoyable thing. It's good to have them in a professional relationship. We have 4 sons. We've been in Nacogdoches for 30 years, raised our boys here, and now are the proud grandparents of 6 grandchildren, and have finally got a little girl, and we're hoping that the production line is still open and there will be more to come. So, but we're very blessed. The service I've done in Austin, we've done a lot of things. I focus on what's best for the people here. I take to heart what we do in Austin. 30 seconds, 1 minute goes quick. Stop, she says. More to follow, thank you.
All right, so we begin the questioning part. Joanne, things at the border appear to be getting worse every day, and we seem to be increasing the budget every year for border security. What must we do to stop the level of illegal crossings? Is it a federal issue, or can the state of Texas curtail the illegal crossings? And since this question was written, the Supreme Court has weighed in on this, and even as recently as yesterday, Governor Abbott has weighed in on the Supreme Court's ruling. So would you address that, please?
Sure. The first thing I would say is, come and cut it. That wire that's on it, come on. This is ridiculous. A sovereign nation has to have borders. We're the only country in the world that doesn't have secure borders. Why is that? The only way we can do it is to elect a Republican as a president that will actually follow the laws. Biden's policies and his lack of following the laws have ruined any economically human disaster. Absolutely awful. My husband and I have been down there. There are good citizens that live there that get text messages every day. Stay in your car. Stay in your home. There are runaways and gotaways behind the Kroger and behind the high school. That's unacceptable. So fully funding the border, getting E-Verify so we know who in the world is coming to our country, that's a must. We have to do it. We already know. We can already feel it. Of the 8 million people that have come here in 3 years, we can't afford it. It is a security disaster. A very known terrorist came across the border just last week. Known. Where's he? So all our communities, we have to wake up, we have to protect ourselves, we have to start locally, and then move out of towards the state and the county and our entire state.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. There's not a more serious question facing Texas, a more difficult challenge than securing our border. It should not be this way. Under President Trump, we've really made great strides in controlling our border, but those plans and those procedures and policies in place were rolled back by our current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and then that's the first thing we need to do is replace President Biden with somebody that will respect and observe the laws of our country and our nation. To me, the first duty of the President of the federal government is to defend the shores and borders, and right now they are failing miserably at that task. We have stepped into the breach, and since I've been in office every time, and I'm not proud of this, but we've had to do it. We have doubled, essentially, every session, the amount of money Texas dedicates to defending our border with Mexico. Mexico's our neighbor, always has been. They're our biggest trading partner. This is not a simple question. If there were a simple answer to it, we would have already done it. We know that that's our biggest trading partner for our nation and for our state. We have to have that port open. We have to have those roads open so we can do it. But that does not mean that we are not entitled and I believe obligated for the citizens of Texas to make sure we know who comes across, who they are, when they get here, when they leave, that they observe and respect the laws of the state of Texas we pass. We've passed additional laws to make criminal practices that we can then take and folks, instead of turn them to the feds and just turn them loose, run willy-nilly across our country. We're, through Operation Lone Star, have passed those laws where we can apprehend them, prosecute them with a due process under our laws, and try to turn the tide. But that's not going to happen until we have a change of federal policy. We have, since I've been there, every year we send letters to the federal government. They never answer our mail because we ask them, pay Texas back the money we're paying, doing your job. We're going to keep sending that letter. Hopefully the next occupant of the White House will honor that and send us the billions and billions of dollars of your money, of our money that we've invested at the border. But we are not taking this lightly. We know this is a challenge. This is very, very serious business. It does threaten. It's an existential threat to our republic. And so I know you join me with this. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep the mic. Joanne had the first question, so I'll give you the second question. There is currently a stalemate on school choice. Both sides seem to be fairly entrenched in their viewpoint. Is there a pathway to getting our teachers better paid and resolving the issue at hand?
Yes and yes. You say school choice, I'll call it what it is. They're vouchers. This is the same thing we've been hearing since the 90s. I cracked across an article talking about vouchers, the same thing. How do we take public tax dollars and divert those into private hands? That's what this is about. We tried mightily. I cannot tell you, John, the amount of time we spent this session, a group of rural Republicans getting together, trying to work with now, I never spoke with the governor. He's kind of aloof in the mansion, but his people were there, and we tried to put together a plan where we could get teacher pay raises, where we could fund our schools properly, because we don't spend money on public education. It's not an expense. It's an investment in our future. When we do this, we are taking the next generation of Texans. We can all agree on this. This is my biggest frustration. This is a policy discussion. Who agrees with me that what we should be doing is taking our public tax dollars, investing it wisely, so that the next generation of Texans are the best prepared, best educated in the history of Texas? Who thinks that should be our goal? All right. We all agree on this. This is a policy discussion. We tried to engage in that discussion. There were several times that we could have passed a bill and had an innovative change in education to focus on the inner city kids, to focus on special need kids, take the $500 million that was allocated in the supplemental appropriations bill and move forward for 2 years and roll this out, and let's see if this makes an improvement. We are open to change. Governor Abbott would not have it. He wants universal vouchers. Why? Ask the billionaire that just gave him from Pennsylvania, there's a bunch of carpetbaggers still out there trying to get their hands on Texas money. Don't think that's changed. $6 million goes to Governor Abbott because they want vouchers. They want to get their hands on their public tax dollars, and the reason they want me out, and you'll be hearing nasty things about me in the next 30 days, is because I stand between those billionaires and more $1 billion that they want that are your dollars that belong to your children and to our teachers.
$6 billion was left on the table. That was going to teacher pay raises, school security, bonuses for nurses and counselors as well. Left on the table. Education savings accounts is what this is about. Parents deserve to use their own tax dollars to invest in their own child that's best for them. My kids graduated from public school. I am pro public school. I am pro teacher. I'm against very bloated administrations and bureaucracies. I'm against sexualized books in the libraries. I'm against woke indoctrination in our schools. This is a must. 88% of Nacogdoches County Republicans voted for school choice. 65% of all Texans, Democrat and Republicans, want school choice. The majority of Democrats that want it are African American and Hispanic. It is in 31 other states. We already see how incredibly successful it is. It is literally, we have to do this. 51% of budget increase over the last decade went to our public schools. It was never going to be funded from public school fund. It was always a different account.
Joanne, this question is for you, and then we'll go to Travis. We know that our hospitals serve not only Nacogdoches County residents, but surrounding counties as well. What can be done to better fund rural hospitals to ensure that rural healthcare services survive?
That's a wonderful question. As a representative, my job is to do whatever it takes to be fiscally responsible with your money. One thing about hospital systems is it's a business. And more people coming to our county, more people moving here. We meet them every week. More people retiring here, more people needing nursing services. People from Dallas and Houston can't afford them there, so they come here. So in a natural, organic way, it will increase. When we increase the economy, when we attract people here, freedom-loving people here, it will naturally increase these areas. It's so important to support our hospitals, to attract great doctors or wonderful, incredible doctors that don't want to be in Dallas and Houston and Austin, but that want a peaceful place to live and do their practice. And whatever we can do to help that out, helping with certifications for, registered nurses or whatever it takes, it's a must for this area and this community.
All right, thank you.
So the question about how do we fund rural hospitals, this is a crisis throughout the country. We've seen rural hospitals closed time and time again. We got a brief reprieve out of, every cloud has a silver lining, and ours was with COVID. COVID bailed out a lot of our rural hospitals for a while because of the amount of money that the federal government artificially created. That's a different discussion, but was pumped into our hospital systems. that bridged the gap. But we're back to where we started about 5 years ago, and that is we do not have the funding to support rural hospitals that we should. I have fought in every budget cycle to make sure we increase funding for our rural schools, but there's some things we need to do, and I think you expect us to do. There are programs that the federal government pays for that we should look at and determine whether it's beneficial. But right now in Austin, people are afraid to have conversations. They're afraid to say certain words in the same sentence, to say Medicaid and expansion. I'm not sure I'm for or against Medicaid expansion. The frustration is because of people on the far right who said, no, you don't even talk about that. We don't know if there's the ability for us to look at money to draw down for Texas, to multiply dollars, and to provide better service. But if we don't do some things creatively, nobody wants to raise taxes. Nobody wants to do those things. But in Nacogdoches, Judge Sal, we have our hospital district pays for the indigent care. That money doesn't come when they show up, and we have to serve them. That's an obligation under federal law, and we need to do that. We're a rich country, we're blessed, we can do it. But we've got to find ways that we can get money into our rural hospitals, and we're going to see them to continue to close. We see that happen, and this isn't just an idea. When somebody has to drive 30 minutes or an hour instead of 3 minutes to get to a hospital with their child with an arterial bleed like we had once upon a time with one of our boys, it's life-threatening. So we're going to work together on this. Mental health is an issue we got to address in the same way. I'm excited though, we get some good news with the UT Tyler Medical School up the road, and hopefully the expansion of another group into this part of the world. We're going to continue to see quality health care here, but we can do better, but it's going to take money to do it.
All right, so our last question, and this, Travis will start out on this one, and then we'll go to Joanne. If you are elected, what would be your top public policy priority, or what, in your opinion, is the greatest challenge and opportunity facing Nacogdoches in the next few years?
Well, one, we're well on the way. I want to follow up and continue to work on. I was very excited when we were able to pass legislation that I carried with Senator Nichols to have SFA join the University of Texas system. I think we've had a brilliant 100 years with the start of SFA, but the next 100 years is going to be even better with the money that's going to come into our community into East Texas. I think that's the crown jewel of our community is SFA. That's what we need to develop and build upon, and look for opportunities to grow that and have, again, an educated population. I think what I'm excited about going back, we're going to continue to work on certain issues. We do it every time. Roads are never finished being built. Education is going to continue to be an issue. We continue to have 1,500 or so people move here every day from around the country. They're coming here because inside every American, there's a Texan trying to get out. And they come here for a reason, because they love what we do and how we're doing it. But that puts a stress on all of our systems. I think our biggest challenge may prove to be Case Opperman's in here. Bless his heart, he inherited a mess. Not because Steve Bartlett didn't work hard, but because our infrastructure is going to be failing around this country. All the systems are roughly the same age, and we're going to see clay pipes collapsing. That's going to be a real challenge. One of the bills I carried this session was for greater funding for infrastructure, not just water supply, but water infrastructure. We're going to continue to push on that. I'm excited. But folks, we're living in the best part of the state, the oldest town in Texas, all the history. I love all of House District 11, the 6 counties that I'm proud to represent. And don't forget, there's other folks out there. But we are sitting on a veritable gold mine. The timber industry, the logging industry is coming back. We're going to see education continue to grow and thrive. We're going to see our access to the ports and the pipelines, the LNG operations. There's so many things positive that are going on here, and I'm excited for the future of East Texas, excited for the future of Nacogdoches. Proud to be your representative to handle those issues, and look forward to getting back to work.
All right, greatest opportunities and challenges.
The greatest opportunities, like I said before, we have met people that have moved here from all over other places. Why? For freedom and political asylum. Because they couldn't put an American flag in their front yard in Oregon. These people are coming here to feel safe and secure. They absolutely adore our beauty and history. If every single one of our businesses would market freedom, come live, open your small business, come retire, they'll bring their money. It will be natural, it'll be organic. And then on top of that, tourism. Absolutely keeping our precious history, creating it and exemplifying it is going to bring people here, and as it does. We have the incredible, our hospital systems, our wonderful SFAUT is here. I would love to see Civitas Institute, which they started in Austin, conservative think tank. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of families all over the United States desperate to put their children into a conservative university so they don't come out Marxist. They would flood Nacogdoches if there was some sort of conservative college within the university. Our greatest challenge will be this year because of the economy, because of Bidenomics. And so shoring up, what do we do during famine? We shore up monetarily, fiscally, etc.
Keep that mic. It is now time that we transition into the closing statements. And as I shared with you guys at the beginning, you each have 1 minute for your final statement. And if you would start.
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate y'all. I am running this race because it's very serious out there. So having a serious leader who is faithful. I am known for my integrity and transparency and honesty and directness. I'm a mom and a grandmom and a small business owner, ministry leader for over 25 years, president of Nacogdoches County Republican Women, as well as I sit on the Historical Commission for Nacogdoches. I appreciate you. I appreciate your vote. And let the best woman win.
This time I'm going to stand up. Thank you. It's great to be here. First and foremost, I want to thank the Chamber for putting this on. John, thank you for hosting us again. I want to thank the DeWitts and the folks at the Fredonia Hotel for having us. That just reminded me. One of my favorite bills I passed was the hot tax bill to help Richie and Barbara fulfill their dream and build this wonderful thing for our community. But as I think about what we're doing here, I want to come back to the issue of public education. Since y'all have been sitting down, I'm going to let y'all stretch your legs. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Stand up if you have a family member that's a teacher or a retired teacher. If you have a family member that's a son, daughter, grandmother, just stand up. Okay. If you have a family member that ever served on a school board or currently serves on a school board, stand up. Keep standing. There you go. Now I want you to stand up. If you graduated from public school in Texas, stand up. Okay? Look around, folks. This is us. This is who we are. This fight about vouchers, this isn't some plaything. We're not playing politics. This is about the future of Texas. Don't keep standing up. We're all about to go home. But this is about the future of Texas. Stay tuned. You're going to hear a lot of bad things about me. I'm going to be killing your babies and stealing your cars and burning your Bibles and confiscating your guns. Hold on, because you know the truth is coming. It's out there. We're going to talk about these issues. I look forward to this spirited debate. And yes, and I do want to thank the other candidates who are here and for your desire to run. I encourage everybody at some point to run for office. Joanne, just don't run against me. So with that, y'all have a blessed day, great morning. Thank you.